Good day, folks. This is Greg Judy at Green Pastures Farm. Welcome everyone to my channel, which is Greg Judy Regenerative Rancher. For you new folks just coming to the channel, welcome. Glad you got on the channel, and before you leave, hit that subscribe button if you like what you see. Anyway, today's topic I'm going to be covering is this is the third week of March. We're in an unprecedented wet spell. I mean, it is wet. And unfortunately, more's coming at us. Plus, to get another 2 days of just heavy rain coming in. See, we'll get, that's coming tomorrow and the next day after that. So we're going to really get wet out here. It's wet right now, but it's going to get even wetter. So when you see and hear the forecast of heavy rain coming, there's several things that you can do. One is get your hay put right where you need it. So this morning it was so wet out here that we drove the spikes into that bale on our little ATV bale and roller, and we were able to roll that thing. See the path it took? That's a 1,200-pound net wrap bale, but we got it up on that ridge. And the bulls, there's 60 bulls right here. The mob, 200 and some odd, is down the ridge there, and we gave them a paddock this morning, so they're on stockpile. And we're trying to lengthen that stockpile a little bit by feeding hay every so often. But there's another bale over there. They can't get to that one either, the bulls. And then further down the ridge, you can see the bale unroller way across over there. There's another one down that ridge. So every ridge in this bull paddock, which is about 12 acres, we've got a big bale placed on it. So when it starts raining, it's supposed to come 2 inches tomorrow, just heavy rain, we can come in here, we can drive spikes in that, and we can unroll it. And what we do is we unroll it before the bulls come into the paddock. And we stack it in little piles once it's unrolled. And my God, it's working. Those bulls are spread out down through there, and they got them a good breakfast this morning and enough to get some dinner tonight. And they're on dry land. I say dry, it's as dry as we can get. And that's because it's hilly. You know, the water can run off. It doesn't just set. But every now and then, folks, you will get something like this happening where it just rains. And I heard my neighbor up this morning. He had his big tractor going. And I mean, when I went by there, I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it. You know, 2-foot deep ruts going across the pasture just to feed the cows hay. That's not the way to treat your land. You know, you're not going to have any pasture there for many, many, many years. Those ruts are going to be there probably for his lifetime. And, you know, we get in the same rain, but I'm being a little bit more proactive. So this is a water point, okay? The last time the bulls were in here, which was yesterday, we actually fed a bale in here yesterday. And so we're just stair-stepping them back and forth up through these ridges. But here's their water. This is what they'll be on tomorrow. And we do have our earth-moving sidewalls here. Those are great big thick rubber walls so the cows can stand on that, okay? But it was getting a little muddy out from the big rubber here. And normally it's not a problem, but by God, it's raining enough. They had some mud here. So what I did is I brought a square bale and I cut it open, and I just put the flakes, I just put them in there just one after another. So when they come in here to eat, see, they're going to step on that. And that's going to soak down into that mud. It's going to give them kind of a pad here, bigger than what they had, and then get them a good drink of water. And that is a Job mega flow valve right there, okay? And they can't step on my hose. And we have found by running a hot wire over the top of our hose all the way down through here that they don't step on the hose and they don't chew on it, okay? And down in that pipe right there, it of course is full of water. Everything's full of water. If it's a low spot, it's going to have water. But there's a snap coupler down in there. And that is hooked to pressurized county water. So it's 60 psi. It fills up pretty darn quick. And I do recommend using a rubber hose. Don't use the acrylic. Don't use latex. Get you a good rubber hose. You just won't have any leaks with that. The other type crack, and on really hot summer days they will explode, and you'll end up with a $100 water bill. Doesn't take very many of those to pay for a good hose, and that hose will last you gosh, I've got hoses that are 15 years old, but I protect them. I don't let my animals walk on them. And you'd be surprised, I go around different farms and there the hose is laying right on the ground. The cow just stomping the bejeebers out of it. Okay. And then they wonder why the hose doesn't hold up. Well, it's not going to when you got 1,000-pound animals with sharp hooves stomping on it all day long coming to water. So it's really simple to do little things like this. It's going to help you. Now, you don't want to touch that wire right there. Okay. And in the summertime, that wire will actually come across the tank and be hooked onto this fiberglass rod. We put these in there just in case they would drink that down real low. They could flip that tank upside down. Or they get their head on it, start pulling around on it. Next thing you know, it's down that hill over there. And you've got a mess. You don't want a mess. So, yeah, it's muddy. That's what it is. We got mud, and it doesn't seem like it's going to go anywhere. One thing that is in our favor, though, it is getting greener by the day. If we could catch the sunlight, once it starts getting green, it's going to soak up a lot of this moisture just from growing green plants. But, we're not pugging it too bad. That's what I like about these moderate frame animals. I mean, my God, it's wet out here, but, that's only 2 inches deep. Okay? Not 2 feet or, 10 inches. I mean, I tell you what, I went by a guy the other day, I hadn't cut through there for a while. I wanted to see what it looked like over there. And if you'd taken a chisel plow, that's about what it looked like. I mean, the whole field was just chiseled. It wasn't something that you have to look forward to, I can tell you that. That field's going to be a mess. I'm not sure how I guess you could go in there and disc it and harrow it and reseed it. That's the only way I know to cure something like that, because it looks like it had been plowed. But we don't have that. We're moving them. Even moving them, folks, from that hill back over to here. Tomorrow, what they're on right there, that's going to get 2 inches of rain on it. Okay, but they're not going to be on it. They're going to be over here. So this will get mucked up a little bit, but then we're going to go back up the hill there on that next paddock above them, and they'll be on that little paddock. These are all, just acre paddocks, maybe 2 acres at the most, but just by getting them off and letting it get rained on and a day of rest, you'd be surprised. I mean, you can get in there and roll some more hay on it, and you're putting fertility out there where it's going to grow you some grass in the coming season. So I think that's pretty cool. Anyway, I think I've covered, this mud issue thoroughly. But that's what we got, and that's what I'm talking about right now. I think everybody out there, we're going through unprecedented times right now with this coronavirus, and it's disrupting a lot of people's lives. And I just say, everybody keep your chin up. We're going to get through this thing just fine. And go out today and, if you've got children, call them up, talk to your children. Let them know you're thinking about them. Your family, your faith, and your health. Yeah, that comes before anything. And make sure you cover those 3 bases. But we're going to get through this thing just fine. And you just got to keep moving forward and do one thing positive today. We don't know what, when this thing's going to end, but we know that there's some positive things that we can do, even out on our farm with our animals. Go out and spend some time with your animals, because there's no use fretting about things you have no control over. Okay, so stay safe, keep your chin up, keep a great attitude, and you know what? We're going to look back on this, that we all got through it, and we as humans were pretty resilient. We can get through some pretty tough times, and this is one of those times. So, folks, this is Greg signing off, and everyone have a great rest of your all's day.